I just banned 2 people off of Read Your Dog just for being stupid. And I banned people for other reasons. But I'm sorry. You know, look. Here, I posted this picture. This is an artist dog that I know, Peregrine. And she's famous, man. She was on that Bravo show, Making of an Artist or something like that. And Stretch is a very well-known artist in his own right. And here he is. He has Peregrine's dog, Beignet, and the dog's name is Beignet, which is a type of donut, right? And Stretch is making a joke about it, going, "I'm going to eat Beignet," right? And these people, 2 people had a problem with this like cute picture of Stretch with Peregrine's dog. That is a very nice dog, and everybody involved in this picture. What does the matter with you? Listen, Read Your Dog is owned by me, and I'm an animal trainer, and I've been in the New York art world for about pushing 20 years now. So we post some pictures that, like, you know, might be artistic. I don't even find this like that artistic. I just think it's funny. Right? It's just kind of cute. And, you know, if you don't like it, I don't want to hear about it. Just leave. Just don't like my page. We don't care. We don't care. Read Your Dog is for the intellectual dog owner, okay? And I also might as well tell you all this too. I'm an obedience trainer. I do not train with food. And I talk about the dangers of training with food. So if you're into this food training thing, and you think that obedience training is so bad, leave. I don't care. We gain people every day. We gain about 1,000 people a month. So if you have some kind of problem with a harmless picture like this, man, you need to lighten up. You need to lighten up. Oh, one other thing, I do comedy on stage. So sometimes I say stuff that's off color. So really, if you're not into, you know, comedy either, if you're not into like something that's humorous, if you really think that this picture is so horrible, leave. Don't like my page and don't come back. We don't need you. I want to talk about clicker training real quick, and it's one of those things that the positive reinforcement food trainers, it's one of their things that they're selling. It's garbage. So I'm gonna explain why I think it's garbage. It's nothing. It's the same thing as saying good or good boy, right? Except you have a very small bias. So if your timing's off, it screws it up. So where this originated from, the click originated in Vietnam, and they needed in the jungles to have some way to describe a distance. So they made these clickers so that there was an audio. You know, so you could say 3 clicks back, 4 clicks back. That's where it originated from. And then in the late 60s, early 70s, right when Vietnam was, it's going to end or whatever, that's right when the food training of sea mammals started. Actually, it started in about 1956. The U.S. Navy used it to train some sea mammals. And then there was the show Flipper. So the guy who trained Flipper, he set up SeaWorld, and lo and behold, 2 years after he set up SeaWorld, he saw that it was such a negative for these sea mammals. He has devoted his whole life to closing this box that he opened up. And you know what? I got no problem with this guy. Everybody makes mistakes, and really, he's devoted his whole life. If you haven't seen The Cove, watch The Cove. The food trainers, they were in SeaWorld, and they found out it's very dangerous to work with these sea mammals, these excited animals, that, you know, they weigh tons, and they will just fuck a human up. So they decided to sell it to the American public with, you know, training canines. So you had this clip. Usually it goes like this. You take the food trainer's puppy class, and then they give you a blue ribbon and tell you how great a job your dog did. And then they're trying to sell you clicker training classes after, like that's advanced training with the clicker. The clicker is nothing. I got clickers around here and I've used them in the past. I really don't find it necessary for most dogs. Like, what? Are you a deaf mute? Can't you say good or good boy? That's all the clicker is doing. It's a marker telling your dog it's in the correct position. And it's one more tool that the novice dog trainer uses to fuck up their dog. And this is how it's usually done, that it screws up their dog. One of two ways. It's either clicked too early or too late. If it's too late, it doesn't have any effect upon the dog, right? It's not going to help teach the dog that it's in the correct position. And if it's too early, right, what you're doing is, it's the same thing as if I'm working with a lab or something, a dog, and I blow a whistle. A whistle means 1, 2, means sit. So usually the novice dog trainer has trained their dog to sit by listening to the click. So in other words, they say sit, and before the dog's ass is directly on the ground, which that's when the click should happen, they click it too early or they click it too late. But the too early is the same thing as saying sit to your dog. So you can check your dog to make sure that you have done this wrong by using the clicker and click it. And does your dog offer a behavior, right? If you click it and your dog sits, then you've done it all wrong. Throw that thing away, okay? And what else happens is you're using the click, right? And you've done this with sit, and you've done it with down, and you've done it with other positions that the dog is supposed to be in. So the dog's totally confused. Am I making sense? So it'd be like saying, sit, down, heel, and all three things mean the same thing. So your dog just kind of is in this excited state. There is no mystery to the clicker. It's just one more thing that the food trainer is trying to sell you. Listen, people, if you go to a trainer, and if you go to the puppy class, or the trainer hands out paperwork that says that you should be training your dog with hot dogs or cheese, that's a good sign. Empire the Dog hands out stuff like this. And I believe Wag the Dog does. Arden does in the city. I think Gene Donaldson does. All these people are telling you to train your dog with hot dogs and cheese. Let me tell you something. Hot dogs are not healthy for humans. Why would it be healthy for your dog? And cheese, the thing about cheese is, we are the only mammals that eat milk products after we're weaned. Why would you be giving milk products to your dog? It makes no sense. And while we're on the subject of hot dogs, a dog needs a certain amount of calcium, and it needs a lot more calcium than you. So if you go eat a piece of dog food, you taste it, you'll notice there's like sand in it. That's not sand, that's bone meal. Dogs eat bones. So if you don't give your dog enough calcium, if you give your dog an improper diet, what happens is the dog has to leach the calcium from its own bones. It is such a mistake to attempt this stuff. They're selling you garbage, people. The clicker, it's not necessary. And you know, you have such a small bias with the clicker. It's a mechanical device just to tell your dog it's in the proper position. You're better off saying good or good boy. The only time I really, in the past, have used a clicker is to teach a dog to back up. Because every step the dog takes, you have to say good. But good works. So I don't even use the clickers. You know, it's just like they're laying around here, and I'm just like, you know, it's just garbage. You know, I checked it out. You know, food trainers, you know, I would really hate me if I was a food trainer. I would be fucking, who is that fucking Peter Caine? What a fucking asshole. You know, everybody wants to try this positive reinforcement food training. I mean, really. I have friends that are vets, and they say when usually somebody comes in and they're having behavioral issues, when they want to use a trainer, they always ask for positive reinforcement style training. People, it isn't so positive for your dog. Positive reinforcement food style training is not a positive thing for your dog. Positive reinforcement, as a trainer, you have to use positive reinforcement. I use positive reinforcement, but I don't use food as a reinforcer. It's not necessary. Why? Because what we do is we pet the dog instead, or we use a toy. Food-trained dogs are notorious for having diarrhea. Do you think that that's healthy? Or do you think that the trainer that doesn't worry about your dog's physical state, which in this case is, you know, they're advocating you give your dog hot dogs, do you think that that trainer has your dog's best interest as far as their behavior goes? It's not necessary to train your dog with food. Just be calm and tell the dog what you need it to do. That's it. Don't bribe it. That is totally ineffective. We are socially interacting with these dogs. The only people that I know that seem to be able to do the food training and get away with it are the military. Because you have to be like a robot. And that's the only way that you can do it. And these are professional animals. So for you to attempt doing this and using a clicker in your household, it makes no sense. And I swear to God, all my behavioral business, 99% of them are ex-food trained animals. Stay away from food training. It will only fuck up your dog. Let's talk Caine into going hunting this weekend.
All right, let's go find him.
All right, let's go.